I know one Beabadoobee song and I really like it. Every time I hear it, I'm like, this song is a bop. I could not tell you the title of it for the life of me. I wanted to see the world in color. Which one is that? So I'm excited to hear more Beabadoobee. And between like this and Rob from Love Island liking Beabadoobee, that's like all of my Beabadoobee knowledge. I'm excited because y'all recommended it. You voted for it pretty high in both polls, and I was like, damn, we either have like Beabadoobee stans in the group or y'all really love this album. So I feel like I'm gonna get something good. Album cover wise, I'm getting a lot of strength, a little bit of frustration, just a very intense emotion as B is talking into the void. But it's that kind of communication that feels necessary and urgent. Other than that though, there's really nothing else to take from the cover. I love the jacket. I love the brown against the blue. I think those colors suit B nicely. So I'm excited to see if the lyrics and the meat of the album match the cover. Without further delay, let's listen to Beabadoobee's This Is How Tomorrow Moves. Oh my God. When I tell you that I got full body chills realizing that this is this song. Disclaimer, one of my friends listens to Beabadoobee a lot. We were in the car together and I was like, oh, I like this song. And it's just been stuck in my head. And I'll be with them a lot and they play it a lot. And so it's like, I'm shaken that I just heard that track. That felt so good. I love that song. Immediately, I'm getting the 90s. I'm just thinking a lot of the indie alt rock from that time. It feels very wistful. We're being swept away by something. Without looking up the lyrics, I feel like we might be talking about exploring, being adventurous, stepping into a new part of our lives. I like this idea of going on a completely new journey and starting the album off with that. I'm prepared to go through this journey with B. I don't really have anything more to say. I'm just excited to keep listening to this because that song is so good and it scratched like the perfect part of my brain just now. So let's keep going and let's see what else we find. This needs a Rat-a-tat remix. Something about the production makes me think of Rat-a-tat, and I feel like these two artists would gel really well together. I also love this track. It's getting me back into my rock bag. Like I'm feeling moody. It's literally September. This is the best time to hear stuff like this. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get a little depressed. Just a little depressed, not too depressed. I'm gonna get a little depressed. I'm gonna put this on, I'm gonna walk around. I'm gonna romanticize my life. Like, this is what I needed. I'm not exactly sure who this song is about. And again, we separate artist from persona. So we're dealing with the persona in the album, but if it's connected to B's life, that's okay too. Definitely feeling the tension and separation between these two people or between these two people in different places, trying to work something out, but not being able to have that come to fruition. The fact that B wants to make it back to wherever this person is, but the relationship is already crumbling from the distance and maybe other things. I love how sensitive and personal and connected that is. If it's even from a persona standpoint, I love that we're breaking down a relationship and we're also identifying tension in things, because I think the song before was about adventure and going out there and experiencing the world, and now like you're in that position, you have this career, you're able to do the things that you've always wanted to do, but your relationships are becoming fractured because of that. And how are we processing and moving through that? Unfortunate yet often consequence of just having distance between people.
It takes two people to make that mistake. You never try. It's such a shame you don't cross my mind, but you did this one time. You did this one time.
I feel like my heart is fluttering as I listen to this. I'm just so swept up in the moments, in the emotions, in the production. This feels like a continuation of California. It may not be the same relationship, but we're trying to figure out what repair looks like and feeling like we shouldn't even attempt to do it. There's a part of it where B, or the persona, is feeling quite stagnant in this relationship, feeling bored at times and turning to different vices in order to inject some excitement in it, but unfortunately trying and failing at that. From Take a Bite to California to now One Time, the flow has been really nice. I feel quite settled in the album already. I'm still looking for something to either take a sharp turn or something that I really love musically, and having Take a Bite at the top, I can only imagine what tracks are in here that I'm also gonna enjoy. But in terms of cohesiveness and the production matching and just the lyrical quality, I don't think I noticed as much of a traditional chorus as I did just a conversation and then kind of like an extended bridge towards the end. So I'm really excited to see where the rest of this is gonna go. And I feel so well placed in this world that it's the perfect position for me to take this journey and adventure with B.
Why don't you just fall in love with simple love? I told my mother what you did. Like I can, and I already told you I just wanted to dance. Could you see me standing out here with my outstretched hand?
It seems like we're in the steps of building something new, entering a new relationship, wanting reassurance from that person. Well, I guess it's a little bit of both. It feels like a new relationship, and it also feels like we've been dating or together for quite a while, and we don't feel like our needs are being met in the best way. I love the lyric where B talks about, you know, telling mom what this person did. I thought it was really quirky and cute, made it a little bit more relatable and put us in this world of dating where, you know, we're sharing what's going right and wrong. I love how the production was a little bit different. It felt more light-hearted, but the lyrics were not as lighthearted, and so I like that match as well. I love the shift production-wise because it sets us up for more. It definitely gives us a break from the other three songs that felt like they were similar production-wise, and I love seeing this range. I also love the pauses that Beabadoobee is taking. It feels very intentional and feels like we are piecing together the story in a way that we are sharing how we feel lyrically. The production is either matching those lyrics or such a stark contrast that it blends together still, and also using the production as a way to communicate that message further with some pauses, with specific fade outs. There's an element of playing with this that brings it up to another dimension for me and feels really strong so far.
Wondering how it could have been struggling to keep it in, or see eye to eye with something new, waiting for you to tie my shoes.
I love that we mentioned talking to mom and real man, because this song, Tie My Shoes, feels like it might be more of a paternalistic relationship. If I imagine that B, or the persona, is trying to figure out a connection with a father, then that puts the first song into context so much more when we think about dating and relationships. And I don't know B's sexuality, but seeing where we find different pieces of our parents and the people that we choose to connect with. This image of tying shoes feels precious yet heartbreaking, because it's something that we're still waiting for. I think it signifies that we're still waiting to be treated like a child, but in the precious way, not in a chastising way. And we're looking for that special kind of unconditional love that parents can give you.
Find it hard to raise your head, lie to a hardly now. It's all gone, no whispers, with my own melodies,
We're playing around with the dynamics in our relationships. And if we look at Take a Bite as a jumping off point, the second we made that decision, it's created a avalanche of all of these other things in our lives. And one of them is looking back towards our parents and saying, what is this? Why can I not find any more support in this? Why have I never had this? And how is this affecting my life now? I really appreciate the production in this one as well. It felt like a cross between Real Man and the songs that we've had previously, and is sitting in this place where it feels a little bit more indie, but it has the capacity for more. But I'm so swept up by the emotions, the production, the lyrics, the singing, that I don't even want to sit too long in what this might mean to me. I'm just like entranced by this entire thing.
just a girl who overthinks about proportions or her waist, the creases on her face. All I wanna do is find the words to make it up to you, making all the same mistakes. I guess there's still a lot to prove.
I really love the lyrics in this. I love that we're using a piano, because it feels so different from the tracks that we've heard before, and it gives you a moment to take a beat and check in and listen. B's voice is gorgeous on this track. It feels like it's shimmering, it's filled with a lot of emotion, it feels quite wistful at the same time, and a little whispery breaths as well. There's a softness and a sadness in this that is talking about this experience in the past tense, it feels. Like, as much as we are feeling disconnected from ourselves, not recognizing our face or liking our features or finding something to nitpick, and that is turning any ordinary day, which is a beautiful day because it's new, into a bad day, is deep. However, it also feels like we are looking at this as something in the past. I don't think there's anything lyrically that actually says that this is a past day, but I guess I'm feeling a level of awareness in this track where we're looking at something and going, wow, I can't believe I felt that way.
I cannot to hardly recognize in my own face. Just a stranger in the mirror thinking, oh, what a shame. Brain's no good at fighting. My hands are tied and I'm out loose, and I'm no good at lying. I'm better at denying the consequence that stands down.
Some days are bad days simply because of the way we feel in our heads, and some days aren't, because we feel a little bit more positive. We are positive about our body and ourselves, and we embrace the day with that attitude. I imagined it to be places and experiences that might be a little bit more upbeat. I love that we're getting a deep dive into this emotional world. And it feels like there's also a lot of loneliness in this project. Without explicitly saying that we are lonely, at least that's what I'm gathering from that. So I love that underneath it all, there's a loneliness, but there's an awareness. While we may feel sad in moments, we are not continually sad. We are experiencing new things. We have an awareness that we have the capacity for so much change, and we're also experiencing the consequences of that change. And not all of it will feel positive at that time, but it is worth going through, and it is several steps on this adventure that we've always wanted to take.
You do the dishes, I'll carry the load to make them. Lost time, the trash to the brim, and I'm scared of it. But you always know just what to say. A hotel room only means I'll be way too soon. And American state makes me feel so far away.
This is so sweet and so romantic. We have this relationship where, we're doing chores or living a quite mundane life. After all of the deep emotions that we were in before, we can have this moment of reprieve where we're just talking about the little things, and we're in this part of our relationship where we're making compromises, but we also feel supported and held by someone. And it feels good for someone to ask you, what time are you coming home? Like, where are you? When can I expect you? I care about your safety. I want to spend time with you. And we have these plans to live our life together in this way.
And I sit on a plane on the shores that were miles away. So I promise this time I won't be late. I'll do the dishes, we'll carry the load because we have time. I emptied the trash like I said I would, and you'd never guess what I'd have to say. I'm not sorry.
We're also playing with travel again. We spoke in Take a Bite about going to see the world, being apart from someone and feeling that distance. And now we have moments like that when we talk about being on a plane means that we're only leaving each other. Being in a hotel means that I'll see you soon. But when I'm on tour in the United States, I feel so distant from you. So tracking these moments, tracking this distance, and having it all be an effort to coming back home. I love the push and pull between these places, the way that we use distance to chronicle our emotions and our relationships with other people. And again, this is another song where the production matched the lyrics beautifully. I feel quite lost in time. It feels cyclical in nature. So I like that I'm aware of the time that I'm spending listening to this. I'm aware of the time that I feel when it's more slowed down, the production, and softer and a little bit more indie. At every step of the way in this project, I feel like I am right behind B, understanding, taking bits of this, and enjoying the journey just as much.
Spend some time with my face, don't wanna risk just making all the same mistakes. The highest I think I've ever been, say I have the prettiest eyes you've ever seen.
We've spent so much time talking about our relationships and talking about the things that went wrong or the things that weren't perfect. So this love song, this wooing of somebody is really beautiful. The production feels sweet as well, so it matches that energy quite nicely. I appreciate this moment of levity and the well-roundedness and the fact that we are leading to more indie themes when we talk about the happier moments or the moments where we had a little bit more support or connection, and more rock themes when we're talking about our loneliness, our isolation, the things that we cannot face.
Been through this too many times to not notice. It's been rough, but I felt worse. I pull myself back up and I'm nervous. A piece of me holds parts of you. Wish I could see that it feels much better when I'm with you. And when I get too high and I can't breathe.
So So far we have rock-leaning production, heavier on the guitar, this indie production, a little bit folksy, and then also that beautiful piano moment that still continues to stand out as we talk about something that is quite personal to us and also revealing. We're a little bit more than halfway in the project right now, and I am already quite content with everything that I've heard. I feel connected to it. I feel like there's variety. I feel like the through line is strong as we are in this world of experiencing our own emotions and cultivating our own awareness and being honest with the audience about that. So I'm excited to see what lies ahead on the second half of this project.
As she wakes, they all say, with wide-eyed gaze and amaze, how can something so uncomplicated still fill her brain?
Seeing yourself not as this other person who is unfazed, living life quite easily, we assume. And there might be moments of conversation where we compare notes and realize that like one person catastrophizes more than the other. It's interesting to put a song that is so self-deprecating on a track that is so relaxed and comfortable, but I think that speaks more to the other person, how we perceive them and their ease and not our own emotion. At the root of this, our emotion is fixated upon the other person. It's all these assumptions about this person or the small things that we know about this person, but it has nothing to do with like our life and what we need for ourselves. So I love that the perspective is completely on that. And a note on the lyrics, they're so sparse. These songs are quite short. Like we're not getting more than 2.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes and 45 seconds, nothing hitting 3, I don't think. So to be able to be that concise, have these romantic, wistful, poetic lyrics and portray so much emotion with so little lyrically is really beautiful to me. I'm feeling a lot of eagerness to get to the next track because there's something in this project that makes me feel really calm and really connected and settled. This is so intimate and emotional, and I love that we're talking about receiving love through mail. This is getting me in my alt-rock bag. Like, I feel so swept up in these tracks. I know I keep repeating myself, but I'm feeling it. And it's also just turned fall. Like, this is perfect. Again, we have this relationship where I think we're talking about a romantic relationship, but we're also talking about what our parents think about our partners or the things that we see in our parents that we also see in our partners, and feeling like there's this breach in communication. No one's sending each other mail, nobody's talking to each other, and these are the things that we desire most. So that longing, that loneliness, and even pieces of that desperation are in the production as well.
Every time she looks at me, it's broken sweat.
I just feel constantly like flicked around throughout this project because I'm like, oh my gosh, and then I feel this here and then I feel that there. And when the production gets like this, when we have more guitar that is drawn out and feels circuitous, I just feel like it lets the lyrics shine. I am also trapped in this emotional wasteland and I can't help but feel these feelings as well.
I'm sure now, I'm sure, 'cause days when my beaches.
I love the idea of being on beaches as a way to feel peace. Again, these are shorter songs, and there was a moment actually, maybe it's because of the white walls, that I was thinking, are we seeing beaches when really we have been committed to an institution? But I don't know enough about Beabadoobee to say something like that. I also wouldn't imply that of a person that I don't know at all. So instead of saying that, maybe I'm feeling a sense of purgatory, but one that's good, one that is either helpful for us, or we're in a place where things have become so monotonous that we are imagining our own escape. Either we are somewhere where we imagine our own escape, or we are in this place of levity, a place where we can breathe and feel connected with our emotions and finally feeling peace with this moment. I think the next song might give us the answer, because I notice that sequentially these things are matching up. And if I hear nothing else that says that we need a way out and we are being forced into something that we don't want to be in, then I would go with finding peace in these spaces, on these beaches, and the places where we feel most secure and connected. I think this is the first song that we're getting that feels good, and that we are quite literally getting everything we want when it comes to how a partner satisfies us. We got some of that in Coming Home, but this feels a little bit warmer, lighter. The production mimics that as well. I feel like I can feel the sun through this track. And I love that we are still getting moments of levity and lightness and love in this project, because it's been quite mystifying as we move through all of these different emotions and feel a lot of sadness and loneliness. People can say whatever they want, 'cause you're everything I want. Stayed with me for days, and I hope it lasts forever. You're such a pretty sight. I know I said before that I felt like loneliness was something that was throughout, and I don't feel it here necessarily. So I think that just translates back to processing our own awareness, processing our own emotions, and trying to figure out what we do with them and what kind of support we need from people in order to move through them gracefully. This is the third to last song on the project, so I'm excited to get into the last two and see how we tie everything up. But so far, this has been such a magical journey, a sweet and sour one at so many moments. And ultimately, throughout this entire thing, I feel held. I feel seen in a lot of songs, and I also feel like there's constantly a brighter day on the other side of whatever I might be going through that has me down in the dumps emotionally. In a state of finding comfort in familiar places that I know, the sadness only temporary, it comes and it goes. At least we look at the same moon. At least we look at the same moon. The one of many ways I could think of you. This solidifies what I just previously said about feeling like there is a brighter day on the other side of that. This song encompasses that, and I think it is so sweet and poetic and loving and just really beautiful to have the imagery of sharing the moon. Even though you may not be in my life anymore, I can look up at the sky and think of you and see you and feel that, remember those moments, and it feels just as good as possibly being with you. Put the face onto the name that I don't even know. The half of what we had, I had a dad that didn't know. Whether this is in romantic relationships or just with family, it takes that distance that we were talking about, that space, and allows us to connect to somebody else through that, knowing that you're not in the same place and there's nothing else that you can do with that. There's a common object that you share because you're both on this planet together, and it really puts forth a gratitude for that other person just being alive, for being able to have the time with that person and feel connected to them, and use nature as a symbol of how we see that person and how we remember and love that person. This is so beautiful. I love how whimsical that last track was. I love that it's coming towards the end because it's giving us these good feelings, this levity, this safety and permission to go out and explore and feel your emotions and learn from them. And even if the situations don't work out in the way that you expected, know that you will always have had that connection. You will always have had that relationship with that person. So yes, there's a moment where we can mourn that it's over, but we can also just celebrate that it happened.
Scared to speak, finding words for an email to you. Try to see through the hurt to find a stuck on my shoe. Hanging on, piece of gum, it's time to let it go. Writing cause I'm healing, never writing songs to hurt you. Using what I best at, and I hope you do the same.
This is definitely the perfect song to end on. I love the awareness in it and just saying, I'm not writing these songs to hurt you. I'm writing it because I'm healing and this is what I'm good at. So know that this isn't motivated towards you. I'm processing my own stuff, and I hope that you do the best thing that you can do in your own way as well, whether that's emotionally or just in your life. It's so transparent, it's so soft and sweet, and I think it serves as a good jumping off point for us to move on with this adventure and find new things. We've talked a lot about different relationships. We've talked a lot about our own emotions and what we're discovering. And this entire project is a processing of that, of these moments. So to have a final sign off and say, this is exactly what I'm doing for you, the person that I was with, but also for the audience, please know, like, this is exactly what I meant to do. And I hope that this is healing for you as much as it was healing for me. And let's move on and find the better things in life and feel better about ourselves and see what's next in store for us.
I turned off the TV and I laid in my bed, thought blissfully, listening to Elliot, writing songs. He did the same about situations. I'm sure make a movie before planning on something to say.
I really appreciated this project. I think it's very emotionally deep while offering a stable foundation for us to rest upon and feel these emotions and watch B go through these emotions. I love it. I'm gonna keep listening to it. I'm excited to add these to my playlist. That's all I have for you today. If you made it to this point in the video, I appreciate you so much, and I hope you're having a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one.